Thanks for checking out Symphony on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.
From the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, National Pledge.
The committee issued a call for memoranda and received submissions covering a wide range of issues, including local government autonomy, devolution of powers, indigenous and citizenship rights, electoral reforms, judicial reforms, socio-economic and cultural rights, gender equity, women's political representation, police and security architecture, among others. Based on memoranda received so far by the House from the public and members' bills referred to the committee at its maiden retreat held in Abuja highlighted 4 major areas as being very important. Number 1, local government reform. Number 2, electoral reform. Number 3, judicial reforms. Number 4, women's rights and political participation. Once the zonal hearings are over, there will be a concluding national public hearing, after which there will be a vote in the House on the issues, hopefully ahead of our annual recess. Because we operate a bicameral legislature, the House will have to meet with the Senate to harmonize positions. Afterwards, the bills will be sent to the House, to the State House of Assembly, and we expect that the states will respond in a expeditious manner. And that's why we are having state governors represent at every level, including the speakers of the House of Assemblies. The House of Representatives realizes that the task of making further amendments to the Constitution is a very serious and requires the full involvement and participation of all Nigerians.
We have gathered here today as part of a deliberate effort of the National Assembly to seek the guidance and support of citizens towards amending the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This is not the first time we have undertaken such a task, but this may very well be the most important constitutional amendment process in our nation's recent history, because the decisions we make now will have far-reaching consequences for the future of Nigeria. A nation's constitution is the foundation of its existence. It is supposed to set the terms of our nationhood and define who we are in a manner that reflects both our common truths and highest aspirations. Our Constitution falls short of this standard because the 1999 Constitution is the product of a hurried national compromise that we entered into 2 decades ago in order to ensure that the military returned to the barracks and that we returned to democratic government. It was always the intention that we will one day, as one people and one nation, return to amend this document so that it gives voice to the yearnings of the Nigerian people and sets out in clear detail how we intend to achieve the shared ambitions of our nationhood. Providence has cast upon the 9th National Assembly the responsibility to write such a constitution for the Nigerian people. The foundational Constitution of the United States of America deemed people of color to be less than and denied women the right to vote. It did not include any limits on the president's term of office and allowed for citizens to be denied the right to vote for failure to pay poll tax. 27 reviews and amendments later, over 100 years, cured this and other defects for the country we know as the #1 democratic country in the world. Yes, there is no perfect document, but we need a near-perfect constitution in Nigeria. We can achieve that through substantive amendments that significantly alter the character of our nation. Therefore, the task before us now is to use this process of review and amendment to devise for ourselves a constitution that resolves the issues of identity and political structure, of human rights and the administration of government, resource control, national security, and so much else that have fractured our nation and hindered our progress and prosperity. Our job is to produce a constitution that turns the page on our past, yet heeds its many painful lessons. It is not an easy task, but it is a necessary and urgent one. We will not be able to deliver on this historic assignment if we restrict ourselves to tinkering around the edges of the Constitution or by imposing upon ourselves artificial red lines that restrict honest conversation. We will have failed in our mandate if the Constitution that emerges from this process continues to look to our past rather than reflect our present and speak to our future. We have an opportunity for renewal, and we must seize it or face the harsh judgment of history. Through this constitutional review process, we have it in our power to restructure our government, to make it more effective, reorganize our politics to make it more inclusive, enshrine efficient mechanisms for holding the institutions of state to account, and put an end to the debilitating conflicts that even now continue to tear our nation apart. We will do what is necessary to achieve these outcomes because all of us in the House of Representatives recognize that this moment in our history is fraught with promise and peril, and the future of our country lies in our hands. All of us in the House of Representatives will work conscientiously and in good faith so that it may be said of us in this process that we made an audacious attempt at creating for our nation a constitution that recognizes our diversity and draws strength from it, and addresses once and for all the fault lines that distract from nation building. It is all too clear that many of our citizens have come to expect too little of our politics and government. We are suffering from the tyranny of low expectations and the cynicism that causes us to believe that the political process cannot produce anything worthy or worthwhile. I understand the causes of this cynicism, but I refuse to share in it. I still believe that politics and government in Nigeria can be a force for good, and that by our common endeavor, we can achieve the vision of a just, peaceful, and prosperous society. Therefore, I want to appeal to all Nigerians and to see in this constitutional review process an opportunity to try to achieve the best version of Nigeria. The public hearings that are holding all over the country now are an opportunity for citizen participation in addressing some of the most consequential questions of our nationhood. However, beyond these public hearings, you still have an opportunity to make submissions that will be considered and that will help this process achieve the best outcomes. Please, by all means, participate. Let your voice be heard, and let your vision also inform the direction of this process. I want to thank all the individuals and organizations that are already participating in this constitutional review process. I want to appreciate the efforts of the chairman of the Special Committee on the Review of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Ibrahim Wase, and all the members of the committee who are at this moment across the country conducting public hearings such as this one. I'm hopeful that our efforts will yield success and stand to our credit in the historical record. I am honored to be here today to declare this public hearing open to the glory of God and in service of all the Nigerian people. I urge all who have come to participate here today to do so with decorum and respect for one another. Let our deliberations be well-intentioned, well-informed, and reflect our patriotism. In this way, we will have a most productive engagement over the next 2 days. I thank you all once more for being here today. May God bless and keep you, and may God bless the Federal Republic. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Bajabiamila.